Alright, so just starting out here in Palavia, I wanted to see what the what this unicorn and maiden ring thing was all about. So let's get this started.
This is it. The same altar I saw in our texts. The ring, Elaine. Looks like I was right.
What do I do next?
Come back here with the person you've chosen for the rite. Offer them the Ring of the Maiden, and you're done. That is, if they accept. Doing so should unleash the power stored deep within your own ring. But
Is there more?
the covenant between Unicorn and Maiden requires both sides to be of one mind and one heart. If either betrayed the pact they swear at this altar, they would face terrible consequences. At least, according to the texts.
I'll have to keep that in mind.
Considering the risk, I'd suggest you give the ring to the person you trust most.
Head back to the altar once you've made up your mind. Alright, Elaine can only perform the rite of the covenant with an ally he bears a deep and profound connection with. Okay, so just about to make my decision regarding the I guess, what is it? The Unicorn Covenant or something like that? The Covenant? Anyways, I don't really know who I really want to go with. So I was looking at my main unit here. So Elaine's unit is basically has been, you know, like my god mode unit that does, you know, 99% of the work. And that's been the case for quite some time. Now the ring of the ring of the maiden, yeah, the ring of the maiden. So this is going to upgrade. Same with the ring of the unicorn. Ring of the Maiden will upgrade to, it's going to have 0 physical and magic defense, but it's going to get +1 PP and then +5 to all stats. The issue though that I've come across is I can't really decide in like my main group here who that would be best on, because just with the gear setups that I've got, it doesn't actually seem that that's going to be really worth it. You know, I was thinking maybe Miriam and then just dropping the Sapphire Pendant. Like, that wouldn't be the worst thing ever, right? So she'd gain +5 to all stats but lose 1 passive point. And I mean, she's honestly, in most battles, she's not really doing anything. Like, it's rare to see her passives actually activating. So that, she's probably the best candidate for my, my group. But the problem is, again, losing it's really just going to be the trade-off for the extra 5 stats, but losing the 1 PP. And that's the case with basically everybody, right? So I have Sapphire Pendants on all 4 of my, the other characters. So that's kind of my issue, or that's been my issue with this ring. It's actually sort of the same deal with Elaine. The equipment that I've got him set up with is obviously the Unicorn Blade. I've got the Hunter's Buckler on him, and then an Amethyst Pendant and Outlaw's Bracelet. I actually really like the Wide Pursuit. That's been really good. So I definitely want to keep that on him. This would kind of be an option to drop, right? I could go with the Unicorn. What is this going to be? The Ring of the Unicorn. Now, the difference, though, between the Ring of the Maiden and the Ring of the Unicorn is the Ring of the Unicorn, instead of the 1 passive point, it's going to get 1 active point, and then the +5 stats. So they're very similar items, but just a slight tweak. But yeah, so anyways, I'm not really sure, and I'll probably end up dropping the Amethyst Pendant, and then I don't know if I've been kind of kicking around going with a different buckler, like specifically one that's going to get me 1 extra base PP, which wouldn't be. Well, I think that would make up for the loss in passive points. So, anyways, I think I'm gonna do this here. Let's, but I think I'm gonna go with Scarlet instead of one of the characters here in my active group, just because I mean honestly I don't. And the kind of crummy thing though here is I don't ever really use Scarlet. It's just I think that this is less of a major decision than I initially thought. Right, I thought that this was going to be a bigger deal or have more impact, but the items that you get are specifically. Also, I should say that Ring of the Unicorn then is, or I'm sorry, the Ring of the Maiden is locked to whichever character that you choose here for the Rite of the Covenant. So just keep in mind that you can't switch it between, other characters. But anyways, let's go with Scarlet here.
What is it, Elaine?
I'd like you to have the Ring of the Maiden.
Isn't there someone else you'd rather give it to? Or am I just the most convenient choice?
Not at all. The Rite of Covenant can only be performed if the two parties are of one mind and one heart.
Is that true?
The rings will suffer no lies. It's you, Scarlet. It's always been you. These feelings I bear are not mere friendship, but a love both deep and utterly profound. I finally understand that now.
You know, I always thought it was my mission that kept me standing beside you. But I realized something back when we were separated. I treasure you more than I could have ever dreamt.
Then stay with me, Scarlet, until the day we both drift off into eternal slumber.
Nothing in this world could make me happier. So it's true. There's really no lying to the rings. I love you, Elaine, and I always will.
Adorbs. All right, let's do this. Thus, the ring has been restored to its true power. I'm sure it will help when the time comes to face Galerius. Let's head for the sanctuaries. Elaine, I'm sure the sages will lend us their strength now that the ring is restored to its true power. They probably will, but let's take a look at... Where is Scarlet? I think there she is. Alright, let's get her equipped here. Paul Crozier. And here's the Ring of the Maiden. As I said there earlier, base PP +1 and all stats +5. Let's also go knock out these the sanctuaries. Let's see here. Okay, here's the Albion Sanctuary. I will just start here in Albion.
I'll start by offering a prayer to the sanctuary.
He who bears the ring of the unicorn, present its grandeur before me. Progeny of the late Pontifex Rite, you have done well in guiding the Savior to this sacred hall.
You know of me?
I do. Your father, under compulsion of Baltro's magic, destroyed the seal sheltered upon these grounds. A regrettable fate indeed.
Excuse me the question, wise sage. Why is it that those of the pontifical lineage are able to break the sanctuary seals?
'Tis a tale even older than the orthodoxy itself.
But that's over 800 years.
Indeed. I speak of ancient Zenoira and their sorcerer's quest for might beyond mortal bounds. A pursuit which brought them to Palavia and the holy power of the almighty unicorn. Enraptured by its supreme brilliance, they began to experiment, using the citizens of Albion as their subjects. In time, those experiments birthed a new race entirely. The population you know as angels.
That's not possible.
Yet their only distinguishing feature were the wings on their backs, a mark of failure for the sorcerers who conceived them. The experiments continued unceasingly, but only one success emerged. A man capable of divine wonder.
The first Pontifex.
Yes, and the gift he bore was the means to lay wandering souls to eternal rest.
But how does that relate to the seals?
The purpose of Fevroth's sanctuaries is twofold. The first is to soothe the vengeful spirits of old Zenoira. The second is to accumulate an energy most sacred, the power of cleansing. Galerius impelled your father to set loose the souls bound to the sanctum, to break its seal as you know it. In so doing, he divested these grounds of one of their vital duties. But the other, the power of cleansing housed within, still remains undefiled by wicked intent.
My father must have foreseen the breaking of the seals all those years ago.
Which explains why he asked you to one day guide me here. To impart the power of cleansing upon my ring, so that we may stop Galerius before it's too late.
Your will is mine own, righteous Prince of Cornea.
The ring's gotten stronger, Elaine. I can feel it.
Ringbearer, the sanctuaries of Fevroth further seek your call. Deliver your presence unto each in turn, that we may aid you when the fated time arrives.
Interesting. What brilliant light. Look at the sacral rod. Affliction immunity and heal 20% HP when using an active skill. Interesting. Look, the power of cleansing has taken physical form. Looks to be quite an impressive armament as well, one which we must be sure to make proper use of. Now then, we've still 5 sanctuaries remaining. Let's be off. Did they say something about the rings powering up? Let's see here. Yeah, I think I'll just hold off on that for now. Alright, let's find the next sanctuary here. This one. No idea if this is going to be the right way to get here. Yeah, looks like I nailed it.
Apologies for asking this of you, Elaine. It's merely that I'd like to make an inquiry regarding the nature of these sanctuaries.
Please, your presence is more than welcome. We'll ask the sage together.
I'll start by offering a prayer to the sanctuary. He who bears the ring of the unicorn, present its grandeur before me. Beside you stands the Turanos of Elheim. The ring of the unicorn would remain ever bound were it not for you. Or for your ancestors, who conveyed the Rite of Covenant through a great many generations. For that, you have my utmost gratitude. 'Tis a kindness I scarcely deserve, O wise sage. But if I may, I wish to ask a question of you. For what purpose were these sanctuaries constructed?
To house errant, wandering souls, those of the fallen Zenoiran Empire.
Yet that raises another question still. How is it that Zenoira met with ruin?
'Twas an act of hubris immeasurable. In search of the forbidden gift of immortality, their sorcerers made sacrifice of a divine being, the great and noble unicorn.
Such vile disregard for the natural world.
Indeed, and greed only drove them further from their own humanity. Amidst the slaughter, they sought to elicit the creature's purifying energy, and in so doing, break free of the shackles of mortality. Yet the cleansing fires of the unicorn glow impossibly bright, violent in their rejection of vice and villainy. For the wicked-hearted to harness such a power as their own would be a contradiction of its very purpose. 'Twas a miscalculation of the most fatal ilk. With the beast's dying embers, the fury of the unicorn struck Zenoira's people. Their skin burned, their flesh was rent from their bodies, and their souls were condemned to wander for the rest of eternity.
How horrible.
'Twas the greatest irony, then, that the Rite proved a success in the end. From the ashes of tragedy rose but one survivor. A single girl, capable of communion with the divine unicorn her countrymen had so cruelly defiled. Aside the Pontifex of Albion and the elven Turanos, she set forth to deliver peace to the restless souls of Zenoira's citizens. A venture which saw them construct 6 sanctuaries spread through every land of Fevrith. Upon its completion, she rallied those loyal to her cause and founded a new nation, Cornea, of which she would become the first queen. And with the spirits of her brethren pacified at last, she relinquished the power she had never once wished to receive. 'Twas then that it was severed in twain, each half laid into a sacred relic, symbolic of her tale.
The Ring of the Unicorn.
And that of the maiden.
Then the reason this ring answers to me alone is the royal blood flowing through my veins.
Quite so. Your heart is that of the unicorn, fated to commune with a maiden true and fair. A destiny which culminated in the rite of covenant and the subsequent unbinding of the ring's true form. Now, the power of cleansing housed within these grounds will prove a great boon in the battle ahead. You need only accept its grace. Your will is mine own, righteous Prince of Cornea.
The ring's gotten stronger, Elaine. I can feel it.
Ringbearer, the sanctuaries of Fevrith further seek your call. Deliver your presence unto each in turn, that we may aid you when the fated time arrives.
Brilliant light. Alright, we got the Sacral Spear. Affliction immunity, heal 20% HP when using an active skill. Yeah, it looks like we're going to get one of those weapons for like all the different weapon types. Look, the power of the cleansing has taken physical form. Looks to be quite an impressive armament as well, one which we must make, or be sure to make proper use of. Now then we'll search for... We've still 4 sanctuaries remaining. Let us be off. Okay. Alright, let's see. Drakenhold next. Looks like we should go over here. Let's do this real quick. Elaine and Leah. I'm gonna just skip this. The nice thing about those conversations is that if you ever want to see them again, you can. So you just do that through the rapport list. At least I think. Let me see here. Yeah, you view conversation. Anyways, all right, let's go to this next sanctuary here.
Forgive me for prying, Berengaria, but why have you asked to join us here?
Baltro, I want to know more about the man who thinks he can tamper with other people's minds. I have a few other questions for this sage of yours, too.
I'll start by offering a prayer to the sanctuary.
He who bears the ring of the unicorn, present its grandeur before me. Excellent.
Hope you're in the explaining mood, Sage. There's a sorcerer working with Galerius. Goes by the name Baltro. What can you tell me about him?
The man was a true prodigy, if ever one has deserved the title. His aptitude for magic was, in a word, peerless. A gift he employed with little concern for sense or morals. 'Twas through that disregard that he birthed arts as magnificent as they were monstrous. The rite of channeling chief among them.
Is that how the devil still lives? By possessing the body of another?
Baltro himself has no need of such trickery. While the lost souls of ancient Zenoira's people have long stood confined within the sacred grounds of the sanctuaries, Baltro has remained in the realm of the living, sustaining his twisted physical form for centuries upon end.
The lone survivor of a fallen empire. But if those souls have been locked away, how exactly was he able to summon them?
With the crystal of transference, of course. A potent medium capable of circumventing the barred gate to the beyond. Once the desired soul was summoned, he wielded the rite of channeling to convey it into a yet living host. 'Tis a feat, I presume, only possible for a man of Baltro's infernal aptitude.
Crystals of transference.
I can't say I've ever heard of them myself.
I bet they're real tough to come by. Otherwise, he'd have brought back the whole damn empire by now.
You make a good point.
I've got one more question for you, Sage. This armor I'm wearing, it's not the only set. There was another up in Albion recovered from the sanctuary when Zenoira first started knocking. Way I hear, it was the Pontifex who found it, gave it to a guy named Nigel not long after. So, I was wondering, this place have any old gear you're looking to part ways with?
Alas, all armaments stored within these walls have long since been evacuated. Yet the power of cleansing remains pure and true. Grasp it tight, and it shall surely bring you succor in the days to come. Your will is mine own, righteous Prince of Cornea.
The ring's gotten stronger, Elaine. I can feel it.
Ringbearer, the sanctuaries of Fefrith further seek your call. Deliver your presence unto each in turn, that we may aid you when the fated time arrives.
What brilliant light. Alright, so there's the sacral axe. Power of cleansing has taken physical form. Looks to be quite an impressive armament as well, one which we must be sure to make proper use of. Now then, we've still 3 sanctuaries remaining. Let us be off. I think that conversation has played out exactly the same every single time now, so I think I'm going to be skipping that from now on. Let's do this one up here in Vestoria. Excuse me. Our sacred territory navigated only by one who holds the mark of Bestial Kings. Oh, nice. Doing that, I guess, nukes the characters that were here. Alright, that looks like that's it. Let's head on in.
Sorry for making you drag us along like this.
Please, there's nothing to apologize for. I take it you have a question to ask.
We want to see if this sage knows anything about the blue. It's the only reason we even got in here, so...
I'll start by offering a prayer to the sanctuary.
He who bears the ring of the unicorn, present its grandeur before me. You've accomplished much, Ring-bearer. 'Tis no easy feat crossing a nation bound in the harshest of winters.
I don't mean to interrupt, wise sage, but I was wondering if you could answer something for us. What exactly is the Bastorius Blue?
You refer to the azure stone on your person, yes? It is magic made crystal, cultivated by the elves of yore. Long ago, when their kind still called Bastorius home.
There were elves here?
That era too saw Zenoira's reign encroach upon every region of Fevrith. The elves to the south, secure behind Ervelda's veil, espoused neutrality and insulated themselves in the forests of Elheim. Yet those in Bastorius did not possess such luxury. Instead, they forged a powerful crystal capable of transforming their bodies into those of colossal beasts.
Astrals. But they could turn themselves back, right?
Such a technique did exist, yes. Though, unfortunately, it has long been lost to the passage of time.
Should have guessed as much.
Still, Zenoira must have had some reason for wanting the stone so bad. Even though they didn't use their mind control to try and get it.
I suspect you allude to the rite of channeling. As I understand it, Bestral physiology is far too distinct to house a human soul, making the rite a futile venture. In its place, they likely sought the crystal for its similar mastery over the hearts of your race. All in the grand hopes of bridling the same strength they failed to overcome so many years prior.
Some story this thing's got.
Now, we lack the time for further conversation. Allow me to imbue your ring with the power of cleansing. Use it well, and bring an end to Galerius's cruel ambitions. Your will is mine own, righteous Prince of Cornea.
The ring's gotten stronger, Elaine. I can feel it.
Ringbearer, the sanctuaries of Fevrith further seek your call. Deliver your presence unto each in turn, that we may aid you when the fated time arrives.
All right, just gonna skip that, and that's the sacral bow. Let's see. All right, we've got one here.
I'll start by offering a prayer to the sanctuary.
He who bears the ring of the unicorn, present its grandeur before me. So the ring is restored at last. You have done well.
If I may ask a question. You said that if we wished to match Galerius' might, we would first need to unbind the ring's power. But I wonder, why did you bid us return here after?
That I may bestow upon you the power of cleansing, accumulated within these walls over the passing of centuries.
Do you imply the renewed ring is not enough to defeat him?
It is not. If you wish to bring such events to bear, you must usher the souls of Zenoira's people to their long-awaited salvation.
The Zenoira of old was an ancient kingdom, said to have fallen in a single cursed night. What do its denizens have to do with this?
The night you allude to was that of failed ceremony, one in which they relinquished their corporeal forms. For countless years they suffered in discarnate agony, consigned to merely watch as a new world sprung forth from their own. As you may expect, the weaker-hearted among them succumbed first to madness, then to an unyielding, rabid lust for evil. 'Tis only by the power of the sanctuaries that such wicked souls were put to slumber, sealed away in a realm known solely as the Beyond.
And Galerius used me and my father to break that seal.
Quite so. He has torn open a seam between the land of the living and that of the dead. A seam through which he shall unite their beings, till neither one is distinct from the other.
Then we know now what Galerius seeks. To resurrect the souls of ancient Zenoira.
Should he succeed, this world will be met with grave disaster. Yet that is why our sanctuaries exist. Make use of our strength and bring eternal salvation to the souls of the lost. Now, the power of cleansing housed within these sacred grounds will prove a great boon in the battle ahead. Your will is mine own, righteous Prince of Cornea.
The ring's gotten stronger, Elaine. I can feel it.
Ringbearer, the sanctuaries of Fevreth further seek your call. Deliver your presence unto each in turn, that we may aid you when the fated time arrives.
Right, there's the sacral sword. And the last one is over here.
I'll start by offering a prayer to the sanctuary.
He who bears the ring of the unicorn, present its grandeur before me. Your efforts are commendable indeed. I shall grant you my might, that Galerius's ambitions may at last be foiled.
If you'll allow me a question first. Galerius asserts himself Emperor of the fallen Zenoiran Empire, but I wonder, do his claims ring true?
They do. He is a man dangerous beyond all reason or belief. In truth, Zenoira's people were not born on Fevrith soil, but hail from another continent beyond the Great Seas. Their populace enjoyed countless years of peace and prosperity, ushered in by magical advancements of the highest order. Yet, after a contested succession sparked civil war, the very magic which once enhanced their lives now stole them away instead. And by the day Galerius emerged victorious, Zenoira was naught but barren wastes, inhabited chiefly by the corpses of the damned. Faced with such cold conclusion, most would have considered him a king absent a kingdom. Yet Galerius would not be denied his reign. Mustering what few pitiful subjects remained in the realm of the living, he set off to seize a new shore as his own, Fevrith.
Then the ancient Zenoira we're familiar with was actually an invading army from a far-off continent.
The modest fiefdoms which dotted Fevrith could but thrash and flail beneath Galerius's insurmountable might. Only Elheim, shielded by the boughs of the divine Evelda, was spared utter decimation.
If that same conqueror now blights our lands as well, can we assume General Valmor was possessed by his soul?
I don't believe we can. An energy so ineffably evil likely derives from something else entirely.
How do you mean?
Were he merely revived through the rite of channeling, slaying the host would banish his soul back to the frigid gates of the beyond. Yet, to judge by the monstrous aura surrounding him, I fear the task far too great for such crude methodology. No matter the truth of it, Galerius must be stopped. And the power of cleansing housed within these walls shall hearten that pursuit. 'Tis yours, should you but accept it. Your will is mine own, righteous Prince of Cornea.
The ring's gotten stronger, Elaine. I can feel it.
Ringbearer, your pilgrimage is fulfilled, and so too is the ring of the unicorn. Deliver your presence unto the decisive conflict, that we may aid you when the fated time arrives.
Brilliant light. Alright, so there's the sacral brooch. Heal 20% HP when using an active skill, and gives you affliction immunity. Power of cleansing has taken physical form. Yeah. Okay. Now that we're down, I can feel a potent sacred energy radiating from your ring. And all that remains is the final battle. Let us make for a Grand Corin and topple Galerius once and for all. Alright, so there we get the upgraded rings. Let's take a look here. Probably will end up swapping this in. Alright, so the Ring of the Unicorn has Astral Blade, base AP +1, all stats +5. And then Astral Blade says unleash its power, true power, amidst a sea of miasma. Not sure here how good that is. It looks pretty... Looks like it might be pretty good. I'll have to try that out. And then let's take a look at Scarlet's ring. Oops. Oh, it unequipped it. So you get Celestial Light. It costs 1 PP. It says unleash its true power amidst a sea of miasma. Activates before an ally is attacked with, and then it just says question marks. I don't really know what that means because I haven't tried that out yet. But yeah, interesting. All right, so before we move on, I actually wanted to point out one thing here. I actually did change who I made the maiden. All I did was I changed it to Miriam instead. I didn't realize at first that the Ring of the Maiden was going to get a passive, which I don't actually even know what that does yet. I'm assuming that that's going to be relevant later on, obviously. But I gave that to Miriam instead, and then I did actually equip Elaine with the Ring of the Unicorn. And then I've got him, you know, with Astral Blade here towards the top. Don't know how or when this is going to, you know, activate. But again, I assume that's going to be obvious in a bit. But anyways, next up, I'm going to kind of make my way over here into Zenoira, into the Zenoira area. So stay tuned, and that will be the next video.